Hey guys, so today I am reviewing a LGBT web series called Red Brazil. Um, my hand has been literally all over on promoting the series. I fell in love with it after basically just the fan base of some of the fan bases of Carmilla, have brought this to my attention. So I got into this series by accident and I fell in love with it ever since. Basically, season one of Red Brazil starts off with uh, two characters named Scarlett and Simone, and so they're in this little short movie based on characters that were written by Fernando Bello, and sorry, directed by Fernando Bello, written by Germana and Viv Schuyler Marcato. And so we learned this movie that's in a web series based on a movie with characters in it. And so basically what you see is Mel and Liz have these two characters named Simone and Scarlett, which are two different characters altogether. So it's a little bit complex. We learn how they progress and how Liz, after the end of the shoot of being Simone and Scarlett, Liz has this real crush on Mel, but we don't really see that progress until season two. And season two really blows it away. Season one was just more like a starter kit of how Mel and Liz ended up being up in season three. But back to season two, we learn about Liz's real love addiction for Mel, and Simone and Scarlett have their contribution factors of how they grow together and how they love with each other. And you see this real struggle of how Mel tries not to liking Liz so much, and you can see this real sexual tension of how you want them to kind of be together, but Liz has all these girlfriends around and she knows she wasn't straight from the beginning. And so you get to see and understand this progression that Liz is a playgirl, just like playboys and everything like that in similarity, and she has just so many lovers around her, and she does it for the drugs and for the alcohol and the money and for the love, but without real love. And so we see this progression of how Mel and Liz and Scarlett Simone's characters really intertwine from this short movie to web series, and we see how their love really just interconnects. And I don't think there's a lot of series like that right now in the mainstream. There's a few, there's a few to name, but this web series just helps us see what isn't really mainstream. And so you see Mel and Liz struggling to love one another, although Mel is married to someone named Henrique, who also had a girlfriend previously named Victoria, but you have to watch the SMRs on that backstory. I won't spoil it because you need to rent it. So basically we see Mel is actually bisexual. So she had a girlfriend named Victoria for 2 years, if I'm correct. Lucy, I know you can correct me later on. And so after that relationship goes south, when Victoria leaves, you see that she gets married to Enrique and hides a little bit of a pregnancy in terms of the relationship. And so Liz has no idea what the heck is going on, that their sexual tension does play out throughout the episodes, and how Mel gets pregnant with Enrique's baby but still screws Liz. And so that baby kind of progresses, and at the end of season two you kind of see secrecy. Now going into season three, we learn that Liz pretty much learns of Mel's pregnancy and the complications with that, and she kind of hates Mel but doesn't really hate Mel. And so you see the real love tension, and Liz slowly giving up her drug addiction for Mel's love and affection. And you see them loving more and doing a lot of sexual content in terms of that. And we do get a lot of great music too. I also have to bring up during season 2 and season 3 of the series. And so we get to see their love and progression and sexual tension just play out, even though Liz has still a lot of girlfriends and getting the drugs and drinking a lot and going out. But that storyline ends up being basically just progressing into Liz being who she wants to be with Mel, and you get to see the whole sense of how Mel is in the situation where now the baby is no longer, and that you see Liz fighting for her love and attention for Mel, and there's a lot of like really intimate, sorry, can't even get to the word, intimate words of how they get together and how their love progresses in season 3, and to the complications of how now at the end of it, now loses the baby. And it's really, really sad because you see Enrique just struggling to get his artistic work out, and you know, his love for his kid, and just finding out that she's lost the kid was really heartbreaking to him. And you see that Liz just swoops in, and this just progresses into something totally different. And we're gonna see, you know, all of the LGBT, well, all the lesbian scenes that you'll probably see it if you haven't watched it yet. I definitely also recommend you checking out the SORs, which I'll probably topic another time, because the SORs actually give you a backstory of Mel and Liz love and progression in terms of sense of sexuality, sensuality, sex, love, kissing, and all the intimate stuff that you normally would experience as a human being. And you'll get to know them a little bit more if you watch or rent the SORs, which I have, and they're really great. The SORs are one of the most fantastic things, backstory-wise, of like long and distance and love, and it progresses to season 4, which I'll bring up to there. But that's pretty much the storyline so far of how Mel and Liz gets involved for season 1 to season 3. For more details, and you want to get to know more about the series in English, and want to know more of the story and backline, I could describe the rest to you if you want a future video. Just let me know, and I will definitely update you guys. And thank you for keeping in and watching and loving and supporting everything. And I love you guys. Bye!